Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me today in this workout. This is going to be a workout around the fundamental connections of our pelvis, our hips, and our knees. It is inspired by Victor Ugan from the Balanced Body Education team. So I want to thank Victor for some of the ideas in this workout. What you're going to need today is a tennis ball. You may need a flex band. You don't have to use a flex band for the workout because we can always use our hands for what we're going to use it for. You can always use the belt from your bath coat. That'll work. You might want something to hold on to. Today I've got this foam roller here, but you might want something just to balance yourself with, a stick or a pole or something to hang on to for the balance component. Okay, so what we're going to do today, we're going to think about our relationship with gravity. We're going to think about how we're breathing, how we're moving, and even how we're thinking. So we will be infusing the concepts of our breathing awareness, three-dimensional breathing, the pelvic floor activation, and also this idea of reducing tension. I think in these times, mindfulness practices are really useful because they help us to take care of our bodies, to take care of our minds, and even to take care of our souls. So we're going to have a little fun today. We will even be doing a bit of plyometric work, a little bit of bouncy stuff. So hopefully you'll enjoy this workout. I think it's kind of fun to do. So let's just start. We're going to start with tapping. We'll use our tennis ball. You could also use your fist. And the tapping around the area that we're going to focus on is really going to help to improve our proprioception. What is proprioception? Proprioception is your brain-body connection, just tapping through. You can continue on at home. Brain-body connection to your sense of where you are in space. So if we can work on that, if we can stimulate that sense a little bit more in our body, just by tapping into our muscle groups or rolling through them, that helps us to have a better workout, helps us to work a little bit more efficiently. So I'm rolling through my quads, IT band, all of the hip muscles, the psoas, the gluteus minimus and tensor fascia lata, medius and maximus and piriformis and all those deep hip rotators in there, hamstrings, and even the adductors in through here. Okay, and already I just feel like that leg is a little bit more awake. So now we're going to do it to the other side, just tapping away. And just notice how this feels in your body. It feels pretty good in some of these body parts for sure. Some of these muscle groups that maybe need a little bit of releasing, that might have been holding a little bit of tension, inner thigh. Just tap all around. And then what we're going to do is drop the ball. We're going to put the ball on the floor of the mat. Be careful with this part because you don't want to put too much weight on the ball if you're putting your foot on the ball. So we're going to roll through the middle of the foot, through the intrinsic muscles of the feet. Those are the deep muscles within your feet that help the foot to do the work of the foot. So I want you just to roll through that middle of your foot, about 4 or 5 inches there between the metatarsals and the heel bone, and we're just kind of waking up those muscles. We're also mobilizing some of those joints in your feet as well, just waking things up. Okay, now we'll do the other side, just rolling through the foot, and this feels pretty good actually. We're just rolling through, enjoying this, just coming into the awareness of our body. Okay, so I'm just going to roll that aside for now. And we're going to start with a little movement warm-up. So it's just a roll down, roll up. So we'll just have you here, feet are parallel, second toe and the heels are lined up. Just draw your attention to your connection to the floor through your feet and that feeling of energy going down, plugging downward into the mat. And also rebounding upward, in through the legs, up through the spine, up through the neck, up through the crown of the head. We're just going to inhale to nod. As you exhale, just begin to roll forward, softening through the knees if you like. Let your spine flex, let gravity take you down, and let gravity open up some of those vertebrae. Good, just take a big breath into the back. And as you exhale, we're going to press through the feet, and we can circle the arms around and up, overhead, opening the chest, and then exhale, drop the chin, begin to roll forward, soften through the knees. Open up through the spine. Take a big breath in here, feeling that connection to the earth. As you exhale, begin to press through the feet. We are going to sweep the arms around and up. All the way up, lifting through the chest, opening through the thoracic spine, and then just roll all the way down again as you exhale. Again, softening through the knees, letting your arms just dangle. Inhale at the bottom. Big three-dimensional breath. As you exhale, pressing to the feet, we'll begin to sweep our arms around and up. Good. Just a little bit of flow. Okay, now we're just going to lower the arms. So what I'd like you to do now is think about this, the idea of how are we going to squat? How are we going to move into our squat? So what you could do is think about bending, really folding right at the hip crease. So I'm going to put my fingertips right on my hip crease in front, and then I'm going to bend over it to feel that connection of the femurs going backward, and then I'm going to come back up. So that's the technique of squat that we want to do, because we are going to do lots of squats today to strengthen our hips and our knees and strengthen that connection to the pelvis. So that's the feeling of squatting, just kind of tucking back. Those femur heads are moving back. Good. As opposed to squatting like this, where the femurs really aren't going back. So we want to think about that, tucking back, sit bones go back, the sit bones widen here as well. Good. So that's our technique of squat that we'll be using throughout the whole workout today. Okay. Now we're just going to do a little bit of breathing with this. So can we exhale and reach the arms forward and squat? Inhale to come back. Exhale to squat. Inhale to come back. And exhale to reach, lengthening through the shoulders. Inhale to come back. And one more. Exhale to squat. Inhale to get back up. Now we're going to do little pulses with that. So let's exhale, pulse 3 and 2 and 1, and come on back. 3 more. Pulse 3 and 2 and 1. Really feel that connection of navel to spine as you reach and pulse 2 and 1 and come back, and one more time. Exhale, 3 and 2, driving those heels down into the mat, and 1. Good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to step back with our right foot. We'll do 4 repetitions. I'm going to put my hands on my hips, and I'm just going to do a little lunge back, but most of my weight is on my left foot the whole time. I'm not really transferring a lot of weight to my right foot here, and then I'm going to step forward. So I'm going to exhale and forward. Exhale, 2 and forward. Most of my weight's on my left foot, and 1. Good. Okay, and we'll do the other side. Exhale and forward, and 3 and forward, and 2 and up, and 1 more. A little bit of balance incorporated here already. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is step forward with the right foot, not very far. This is a bit of the plyo part. Okay, so we're going to step forward and we're going to spring back 3 more times on that leg. Step, spring back, and step, spring back. Good. 1 more. Toe ball heel landing, kind of a heel ball toe takeoff. And the left side. So we're going to step, spring back, and step, spring back. Good. And step, spring back. And 1 more. Step, and spring back. Okay, now let's take our feet wide of the mat like this. Okay, so this is kind of a fun part. I want you to just shift side to side. Just shift and shift and shift. Still feeling this connection of your core, feeling the shoulder blades wide, collarbones wide, nice long neutral spine here. Shift and shift. Good. So the next time we shift to the left, we're going to bend that left knee, and then we're going to sort of spring off that foot and just tap the foot on the mat beside the right one. So we're going to step, bend, push off, and a little tap. Step, toe ball heel land, heel ball toe takeoff. 2 more like that. Down and push off. And 1 more down and push off. Okay, now we're going to straddle the mat again. We're going to do the same on this side. So we'll bend the right knee and we'll push off. And land and push off. And 2 more, land and push off. Good, and 1 more, land and push off. Okay, now we're going to step to the right side of the mat. I'm going to have my left foot positioned beside the mat. Okay, the next part is a squat, single leg. Okay, this is where, if you wanted to, I'm going to move this off. If you wanted to, you could hold on to a pole or something here anything to give you a bit of balance. I'm going to show you with this first. So I'm going to be bending my left knee rather, and squatting and just tapping my right foot onto the mat here. So it's a little bit of a curtsy across the front. And then I'm going to sweep that leg behind me while I lengthen my left leg, and then I'll bring it behind, and it's a real curtsy now. Good. I'm going to move that in a little bit. So it's up, circle around and squat, up, circle around and squat. Good. It's up, circle around and squat, and it's up, circle around and squat. Good. Let's just do one more. Up, circle around and squat, and up, circle around and squat. Good. Now we'll go to the other side. Okay. So I'm not going to use the foam roller on this side, but you could always use something to hold on to at home. Okay, so here we go. Standing on the right leg alone, we're going to get ourselves in position. Okay, we're going to circle that left leg around and then squat. Circle as you lengthen through that right leg and squat. Circle that left leg and squat. Circle it around and squat. Two more. Circle and squat. And circle and squat. One more. Circle and squat. And circle and squat. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to come back to that a little bit later on in the workout, and we'll be adding a little bit of spice to it. Okay. So now let's have you all lie down, if you would. Okay, you just find your way down. Now, there's lots of ways to get down. You can make the getting down part of your transition. You can roll forward, soften the knees, connect your hands to the mat, walk forward with your hands, bend your knees and come down. Okay, and then there you are. And then over onto your bum here. And then we're just going to roll ourselves down. There's lots of ways to get down. Just come down in whatever way works for you. Now we're going to do a little supine leg lift test. So I want you to straighten out your legs. And just kind of settle into your mat for a moment. Feel your mat connections. Feel the awareness of that pelvic floor as you exhale. Feel a three-dimensional breathing here into the ribs, into the side, and into the back of the rib cage. Relaxing any tension in through the shoulders and the neck, the forehead, the jaw, just letting go. Okay, now we're ready for our supine leg lift test. So I want you to just lift your right leg up, see how that feels, and then lower that leg down. And lift the left leg up. Notice if there's any discomfort or heaviness with the leg lift. Good, and then down. And if you notice a difference, just kind of take note of it and see if it changes. And we're going to bend your right knee, bend your left knee, take your tennis ball and place it just underneath the right buttock, right in the middle. Okay, now if this is too uncomfortable for you to do, you can put this ball underneath your mat. That'll work, actually, right underneath here. And then you find your way on it, and it's a little bit softer, okay? You can also put a folded towel on top of the ball. And if you're finding the ball isn't really getting in there the way you'd like to, you can put a prop underneath it, just a little yoga block, or even put a folded towel underneath the ball. And that'll give it a little bit more height for you. So where we are is I'm just kind of rolling through my middle right buttock, rolling through those deep hip rotators, the piriformis and all those other deep hip rotators in there. Kind of finding my way through the gluteus maximus rather, and into the piriformis, just softening. And it is important to just let go. Just try to relax and let go. Just allow the ball to take on, to move into the tissues, and the tissues to take on the shape of the ball. Just feel your breathing facilitate that. Feel that letting go with the exhale. Good, that should feel pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to take the ball out, even though I kind of want to keep it there because it feels so good, but I'm going to take it out, and oh, that feels so nice and flat now there. So I'm going to just straighten my legs out, and I'm going to do that test again. So I'm going to lift my right leg up and lower down and lift the left leg up. Okay, now the left leg feels distinctly heavier than the right leg after having released the right side. So I'm going to bend my knees, I'm going to lift my pelvis, and we're going to come down onto that ball. And again, just letting go of tension, releasing with your breath, really tuning in kind of to working from the inside out. That's our focus. So we're going to let go of the piriformis, let go of the gluteus maximus, and all those other muscles in there that are deep within our hip. Our hips are really, they're so important. Like they are definitely the governors of your knees. So if we're holding tension here, we can't access our strength or our power to support our knees. So we do need to let this stuff go in order to have access to the power within our hips. So there we go. Oh boy, yeah, I could definitely stay there all day. So I'm going to take the ball out though now after having released those muscles. And I'm going to just take the pelvis down and straighten the legs out. Do one more leg lift test just to see how that feels. Yeah, it definitely feels better. Okay. Okay, now from here, we're going to bend your knees. We're going to work on a little bit of segmental mobilization of the low back in relation to the pelvis. So let's have your heels in a little bit closer to your bum. Arms are down, anchor them down, lengthen through the neck. We're going to do a one hip roll as a test. So as you inhale, prepare. As you exhale, go ahead and imprint your spine. So this really means we're connecting the whole low back to the mat, peeling your tailbone and sacrum and the pelvis off the mat. Today, mine's a bit stiff. It's not coming off very segmentally right now. I'm rolling up, and I'm just going to take a big breath in here. I'm going to reach through my arms, lengthen through my knees. And as I exhale, I'm softening through the chest and rolling through the spine and just getting a sense of how is that spine moving? Is it articulating smoothly and vertebrae by vertebrae? Okay, now we're going to start our mobilization. So we're going to roll up as you exhale. I want you to roll that pelvis up again, just maybe to the point where you feel your lower ribs are on the mat, okay? And then from here, we're going to do a little typewriter shift side to side with the pelvis 2 or 3 times to each side. So my pelvis is really going laterally, like a typewriter carriage, side to side. And check in to see whether you feel any differences in the excursion of movement side to side and even just the comfort of the movement side to side. Then I'm going to roll down a segment. And I'm going to do it again, shifting side to side. So rolling down a segment for me is about, an inch or 2 down. Okay, and then we're going to roll down another segment. So we're rolling through the different vertebral levels in the lumbar spine, shifting side to side. We're going to roll down again and shift that pelvis laterally. That's it. You might find certain levels are perhaps stiffer than others. Okay, and then we're going to roll down one more time. So I'm really almost at the very bottom, L5, S1. And then I'm going to roll all the way down. So the next mobilization is rotation. So we're going to inhale, prepare, exhale to imprint and articulate all the way up. Already I can feel that's a bit better, more segmental in movement. And then when I exhale, I'm going to just drop my right rib cage down and then I'm going to roll it back up. So inhale, prepare. As I exhale, I'm going to roll that right rib cage down, one rib at a time. And then I'm going to roll it back up, driving the weight through my feet, through my heels, and inhaling here. And then we're going to exhale and roll the left rib cage down. Inhale to come up. Let's do it again on the right. And peeling those ribs down onto the mat. And peeling them up off the mat. And exhale, rolling the rib cage down on the one side. And then just coming back up. And then we're just going to roll all the way down. One vertebrae at a time. Good. Okay. Now let's do our hip roll test again, just to see if it's changed at all. So we're neutral. We got that little space in the low back here. Tailbone is weighted. Rib cage is on. Shoulder blades are on. The head and neck are relaxed but weighted. Inhale, prepare. As I exhale, I'm going to imprint, really engaging those glutes and abdominals, pelvic floor. And then I'm going to peel my sacrum, my tailbone and sacrum and my lumbar spine off the mat, one vertebra at a time, and that's distinctly better for sure. Reaching long through my fingertips, taking a breath in here, big breath into those lower lobes, and then as I exhale, I'm going to surrender that sternum to gravity, allowing the vertebrae to come down really segmentally. L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, my sacrum, and then my tailbone. Good. Okay. So let's bring our feet wide. Arms are a little bit wide here. Oh, there goes my ball. I'll have to get that later. And we're going to do the windshield wiper stretch. Okay. So we're going to drop our knees down to one side. I'm dropping mine down to the right here first. And I'm squeezing through that buttock on my left buttock to open through the front of my left hip. And then I'm going to come back up, and then I'm going to go the other way. Dropping down, opening up through that hip. I'm trying to keep my shoulder on here. And coming back up, and dropping down, opening up through the front of your hip. And then coming back up again, and dropping down. So now we're just getting ready for all the stuff we're going to do by releasing our muscles. The hip rotator stretch is the next one. Crossing over, you can either just hold this position here, sometimes that's enough. Maybe you want to push into that knee away from you, or if you like, you can take that whole left foot off the mat. We can reach around behind and then just feel the stretch in your buttock here, that right hip. Letting go through the neck and the shoulders. Good. And then I'm going to shift my knees a little bit away from my stretched leg side toward my left. And I'm breathing, just focusing on my breath, moving into that hip. And breathing out to let go of any tension. And one more, breathing in. And breathing out. And then we'll slowly come back and we'll change sides. So we'll either hold this position, maybe push away if that feels good for you. Otherwise, we can pick that foot up actually and just hold on underneath the thigh, letting your shoulders relax. For some of us, we'll want to have, while we're lying down, support under our head, okay, just to keep your head and neck aligned. So keep that in mind that anytime we're lying down and you feel like you need something under your head, just please put a folded towel or a little pillow might work for you. I'm going to start shifting my legs over toward the right side. I'm going to start breathing into that hip, really focusing my breath to direct it toward that area where I'm a bit tight today. Just breathing out and breathing in. And just softening as you exhale. Good. And then we're going to come back and we're going to try the happy baby stretch. So this involves bringing both knees up. Hands are on the inside of the lower legs, the ankles, or even some people might want to grab their feet there. And for some people, you might just be here, and that's perfectly okay. So wherever you are that's comfortable is where it's right for you. So happy baby stretch is a great adductor stretch, great groin stretch. I'm just going to add a little bit of rocking side to side because it feels good to do. Good. Okay. And then from here, I'm just going to bring the knees in. I'm going to release the left one down. I'm going to hug the right one in and up toward my right shoulder to get that nice distinct kind of fold, get some hip flexion going on. The hand position can be either above your knee, on top of it like that, or you can hold on underneath it. It's whatever's comfortable for you, okay? Just breathing into it, anchoring that opposite leg down. Okay, let's release that and change legs. So we can hug that left knee toward the shoulder. You might get a little bit more range of motion in your hip if you bring it a bit more lateral toward your shoulder as opposed to just directly in. Sometimes people feel a bit of a pinch in the front of the hip when they bring this knee in to the front. So you might want to bring it laterally and just avoid the pinch feeling. Just breathing in and enjoying that and breathing out. Okay. Alrighty, from here, I'm just gonna grab my flex band. Okay, I take the flex band. I'm gonna put it around my right foot. This is a hamstring stretch here. So here we are. Now you could just put your hands behind your leg. You don't have to have a flex band. I've just got one, so I'm gonna use it today. So from this position, I'm gonna choke up on my band. Elbows are pulling down. bottom leg is straight and it's down anchored into the mat. Depending on your low back or your hip, you might want to bend that bottom leg. You can decide here. So I'm going to bend my top knee and then I'm going to press the top leg up toward the ceiling. Breathing in, breathing out. Just 3 more. Bend and straighten. And 2 more. And you should feel that in your hamstring as a nice stretch. 1 more. Good. Now we'll cross over the midline. I'm turning my foot downward toward the floor on that side as well. And here, this feels like kind of a nasty stretch actually on the peroneals, on the lateral part of your lower leg if you're tight there. It also will help to stretch your IT band and maybe the side of your hip. So wherever you feel the stretch the most, it's just where you need it. So even if it's a bit of a nasty stretch, you can just go ahead and do it because it's probably good for you. That's it, pushing away. 1 more. Good. And then I'm going to take the straps in one hand. I'm going to let that leg just float out to the side. I'll use my other hand as kind of a counterbalance here. Just breathing in and breathing out, anchoring that bottom leg down. And inhaling and exhaling. Okay, let's bring that leg up. Okay. And then we're going to put the other foot in the strap. Good. Bottom leg is anchored. Elbows are anchored. My head and neck, I'm just going to check in there because sometimes we tend to hold tension there. I want to just drop those shoulders. So we're going to bend the knee and straighten for 5. Inhale to bend. Exhale to straighten. 4. Just kind of enjoy this. Take your time. 3. No hurry. 2. And 1 more. Good. Now we're going to cross over the midline. This is the nasty one where our toes are pointing downward to the floor. And I'm going to bend and straighten for 5 and 4. We call this the 3-way myofascial hamstring stretch because it's stretching much more than muscle. It's stretching fascia. Fascia loves to be stretched with movement. Now let's take that band and we're going to bring your left leg to the side. I'm going to counterbalance with the right arm on the floor. And I'm just going to let gravity take my leg down and just breathe and enjoy that. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. And then we're just going to come on back up. And I'm going to put the band to the side for now because we may come back to that or needing that. So let's just work on some connections of our pelvis and our lumbar spine. And we're going to work on the bent knee follows. So I'm going to put my hands palms facing downward just under the side edges of my bum. And this could be done, we want this to be done in a neutral position if your feet are down. And the feet can be down like this, or you can be in tabletop. Tabletop position is like this. You could be in imprint when you go to tabletop or neutral, you can decide. So we're going to exhale, pulling that other leg up. So I'll just show you this version. As we inhale, we're going to drop the knee to the side, keeping equal weight on the pelvis through the hands. And exhale, come on back up. And inhale to the left. What I'm also trying to do is keep my opposite thigh vertical, my right thigh vertical as my left leg goes to the side. So we're going to inhale to the right, left thigh remains vertical, exhale and hauling that leg back up, really feeling that connection, navel to spine, pelvic floor, inhaling. I'm thinking about that pelvic floor igniting as I exhale and pull that leg up. That'll help our abdominals to work even more effectively. So what we can do here is we can add on and exhale to extend the leg. Inhale, bring it back in, and exhale to pull it up. So we can inhale to bring the leg down, exhale to extend the leg. That's a little bit of a progression. Inhale to come in, exhale to haul it back up. Let's do 1 more like that. So inhale, exhale, reach and lengthen. Inhale in, exhale back up. And then just 1 more. Inhale, exhale, lengthen. Inhale in and exhale to come back up. We're going to carefully place the feet down one at a time. The 1 leg circle, I am going to do this with the band today. Okay, you could do it without the band. I just think it's a nice connection to use the band. It gives you something to push into and get a sense of kind of an energetic movement going outward from the leg. And that helps all these muscles work even better. So even if you're not using a band today, can you think about that idea of energy going out the leg, out through the foot? Okay, so we're going to extend that bottom leg. I've got my right foot in the band. My elbows are anchored down. My shoulders are connected. I'm feeling really open through my collarbones. We're going to inhale to circle the leg. across the midline. Exhale, around and down. And now I'm not going too big with my circle. I'm just going to try to keep my pelvis on the left side. Inhale for 1/4, exhale for 3/4. Inhale for 1/4, exhale for 3/4. And let's just do 4 today. Inhale for 1/4, exhale for 3/4. Good. And we'll change the direction. So inhale out, exhale around and down. Inhale out for 1/4, exhale around and up. For 2, inhale and exhale. For 3, and then 1 more. And 4. Good. Changing the leg that's up, okay? So this is a great exercise to work on your lumbopelvic stability, all those stabilizers in there. It's good for your hamstrings as well to lengthen them in throughout the range. So we're going to inhale across, exhale the circle. What the band does too, or even just the image of reaching long through the leg does, is it helps to get us out of our hip flexor entirely and helps us to work through the back chain of muscles as well. The calf, the hamstring, and the glute group. 1 more. So it helps to kind of balance out how our energy is being used through the body part that we're moving. So now let's go the other way. Inhale, exhale for 4. Inhale, exhale, 3. Good. Inhale, exhale, 2. That feels pretty nice. 1 more. Hope it feels nice for you too at home. Exhale for 1. Good. Okay, let's take the band and we'll carefully roll over onto the side. And then what we're going to do is this side leg series. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put my folded arm under my head. I'm going to try to have my body in really one straight line. Bottom waist is lifted, okay? And I'm just going to use my top hand for balance while keeping really open through the front of the chest. I'm going to inhale to point my foot, lift the leg, but I'm not changing this. This is remaining the same. Exhale to press through the heel to come down. Inhale to lift, exhale to push. Good. Keeping long, energetic line between the crown of my head and my foot. Really feeling that. So inhale to lift, exhale to push. Good. And we're going to lift the leg this time. Exhale, bring the legs together and lower them down. So inhale up, exhale, they come together. So we don't want to lift them up too high. So inhale up, exhale together and down. 1 more time. Inhale up. Feel connected in your glutes the whole time. Okay, now the third one is we're going to lift both legs up. So inhale, prepare, exhale. Lift and lower. Inhale, prepare, exhale. Lift and lower. Feeling that nice long line. And again, 2 more. Exhale. Lift and lower. And 1 more time. Exhale and lift and lower. Good. Now, what we're going to do here is I'm going to come up onto my forearm. Okay, I'm going to bend my knees a bit. I'm going to lift my top leg in a bent position. I'm going to move my knee forward, and then we're going to exhale and push it back. And I'm going to go into a little hip extension here, but I'm keeping this connection between my rib cage and my pelvis, not allowing it to go into extension in my low back. And then just pull it in and exhale to push away. Also, I'm thinking about keeping really lifted in my rib cage of the bottom side of my rib. So I'm really plugging my ball into the socket, feeling that connection of the elbow, forearm, and hand. 1 more. Good. Okay, so from here, while we're here, if you can grab onto your foot, ankle, wherever you can grab, and then just give yourself a little quad stretch, opening up through the front of your hip, opening up through the front of your quad, just breathing in and breathing out. Good, and 1 more, breathing in and breathing out. Okay, now we're going to lower that leg, and before we do the other side, we're going to come down and do a low swan. So the way I'm going to do this today, I've got my legs wide, turned out. My arms are going to be wide as well, and I've got this connection of my navel to spine. My glutes are alive, okay? I'm feeling the whole back chain of muscles really connecting. I'm going to park the pinky finger side of my hand on the floor. And as I inhale, I'm going to begin sliding the shoulder blades down and lifting through the upper body. And as I exhale, I'm going to slide away. So these are just little baby swans. Inhale, coming up as I slide my shoulder blades down, opening through the collarbones, keeping the connection of my pinky finger side of the hand to the floor. That'll help to activate your lats. Inhale to come up. Exhale to come down. Really trying to stay out of my low back. And then just one more. Inhale to come up. That's it. And exhale to come down. Okay, so from here, we're going to have you bring your legs together. Bring your palms to face downward. Okay. And actually, if you want, you can separate your legs a little bit. That might feel better on your low back. We're going to do the 100 right here. Thanks, Victor, for this. This is a great idea. Really feeling my connection, navel to spine. My rib to pelvis in front is really feeling connected as well. I'm going to just lift my arms up and I'm going to lift my legs up here. I'm going to feel the openness of my collarbones. So from here, I've got the legs just suspended and reaching long. You don't have to lift those legs. If it doesn't feel good, just don't lift them, okay? So from here, we're going to inhale, pulse, 2, 3, 4, 5, and blow, 2, 3, 4, 10, and in. And lengthen, 2, 3, 4, 20 in. Palms are still facing down and blow, 2, 3, 4, 30 in. Really feeling long. And out, 2, 3, 4, 40 in. And feel that connection, navel to spine. And in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and blow, 2, 3, 4. This is about 60 in. Find your length, 2, 3, 4, 70, reaching long through the legs, and out, 2, 3, 4, 80, really reaching through the crown, and out, 2, 3, 4, 90. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 100. So we're going to lower the legs, bring the hands back to the shoulder height, and then just press back to the shell. This feels really, really good after doing any kind of prone work like that, just opening up through the low back, through the pelvis, and through the hips and shoulders. And just breathe. Take a moment now, just breathing in and breathing out. Just settling in, inhaling, softening through that low back and through the hips. Good. And then we'll come back up. We are going to do our side lying on the other side now. Okay, so let's position ourselves with the folded arm, legs straight. Top hand is supporting. I'm really feeling open through my collarbones. Bottom waist is lifted. Feet are pointed. And I feel like I'm in a really straight line here, as if I was standing against the wall. So we're going to inhale to lift. Exhale to press through my heel. Good. And inhale to lift. Exhale to press. 2 more. Inhale to lift. And exhale to push, very energetically push through that heel. And inhale to lift. Really feel that push through the heel. Now this time we don't want to lift up too high because we're going to lift the other leg up to meet it. So we'll inhale to lift, exhale, connect, bottom leg to top leg, we lower them down. Inhale to lift, exhale, connect, and lower. 2 more. Inhale to lift, exhale, connect, and 1 more. Inhale to lift, exhale, connect. Now they're both going to lift and lower together, okay? So we're going to inhale, prepare, exhale, lift and lower. Trying to maintain this bit of space here. Exhale, lift and lower. Squeezing my bum together, squeezing my inner thighs together. 1 more time. Exhale. Good work. Good. That's it. And then down. All right. Now we're just going to come up onto the forearm. Bending the hips and the knees a little bit, opening up through the front of the chest, really feeling lifted through the bottom rib cage. We're going to lift the top leg. So we'll inhale to bring the knee in, exhale to push the leg away from you. Feel the extension happen from the hip as opposed to the low back. Really feeling this connection is maintained. Inhale in, exhale to push, feeling longer. Find that length on the exhale. 2 more in, exhale to push away, and then just 1 more in, and push away. While we're here, like we did on the other side, just going to offer up a little quad stretch because it feels really yummy. It's a nice thing to do. Right here, just opening up through the front of the leg, front of the lower leg, or upper leg rather, quad. Maybe feeling this in the hip as well. Good. And then from here, we'll release. We'll come up. We're going to come into a sitting position. Now, I'm going to sit in cross-legged position, but know that you can at home, you can sit on a cushion, on some kind of bolster to lift you up. If you're feeling like you're really a little tighter in the hips. And this is really hard to do. Don't hesitate to sit on something. Sit on something that you might have around you at home, okay? So this is a side bend series. My spine doesn't bend very well and doesn't rotate very well because I have this 23-degree scoliosis in my thoracic spine. So I have to work on that every day. So you won't see me moving as much as hopefully you're going to move at home. So what we do is we put our hands to the side. We're lengthening up. We're going to inhale up with our left hand, and then we're going to exhale to come down toward the right side, opening up through the whole left side. Now you might even get your elbow down, your forearm down onto the floor. Inhale to come on back up. Exhale down. And we'll do it again. Inhale up. Exhale over. Feel that whole stretch along that side. Inhale to come on back up and exhale down. And then one more. Inhale up. Exhale over. So what we're going to end up doing here next is we're going to rotate to the same side that we're side bending to, okay? So our arms are in airplane arms. We're inhaling to prepare. 3 little pulses coming up. Exhale for 3, turn and look 2, and grow taller 1. Inhale, center. Exhale to rotate for 3 and 2 and 1. Really wringing out the waist. Inhale, center. 1 more. Exhale for 3 and 2. Keeping shoulders away from ears. Good. And center. Okay, let's come down. Okay, hopefully that felt good for you. So we're going to inhale. Bring the right arm up. Exhale. Little side bend, supporting with your left hand or even your forearm and elbow maybe down on the mat. And then inhale to come on back up. Exhale to come down. Good. 2 more like that. So we're going to inhale up. Exhale to side bend. Really feel that opening up on the whole right side. Inhale to come on back up. I'm pushing through the floor to help myself to come back up here too. That's okay. 1 more. Inhale up. Exhale, side bend. Reaching long through the crown of the head and through the fingertips. Inhale to come on back up and exhale to come down. So now we've got the airplane arm position. Weight of my arms is really being taken in my shoulder blades here. We're going to inhale, prepare. As I exhale, I'm going to spiral for 3. Go further, 2 and 1. Inhale, back to the center. 2 more. Exhale for 3. Hopefully that feels okay for you. Inhale to the center. And then 1 more. Exhale for 3 and 2 and 1. Inhale back to the center, and we'll release the arms down. Okay, so let's come over onto our hands and our knees. We're going to transition up to standing. So we are going to be using our band in a second here. So I'm just going to have that near me. Curling our toes under, lifting our knees, inhaling, exhale, walking the hands back. Good. I'm pushing through my feet, transitioning up. So we want our transitions to be kind of part of what we do in our Pilates practice. Okay, so I'm going to take the band here. Now, you don't have to have the band for this. We're going to do some monster steps. So these are super good for your hip abductors. And for most of us, we need to be stronger in our hip abductors. So I'm going to put the band underneath my feet. And these are called monster steps. And they're kind of fun. They're challenging, but they're fun. Okay, so I've got the band under my feet. Spreading it a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to go into my squat. Remember what we did earlier in the workout? We had you fold over the crease, right over the fingertips, right? Folding at your hips. So from here, my feet are hip distance apart. And I'm going to take 4 big steps. We're going to step to the right. 4, 3, 2, 1, and 4, 3, keeping long through the spine, 2 and 1. Let's do it again. 4. Now you don't have to have the band for this. You can just do this in a little squat position. 1. Go back for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to hold it here. And at this end, we're going to do 2 little squats. I'm going to reach my arms first. So I'm going to take my hands to the end of the band. Reach and reach. And then I'm going to do my step squats again. So monster steps. 3, 2, 1, and squat. Come up, watching that the feet are really parallel. Other way. 4, 3, 2, 2 squats coming up. Reach and back and reach and back. So you might want to check down, look at your feet to make sure your feet haven't gone and turn out, that they're really straight, second toe in line with the heel. Squat and up. 1 more time. 4, 3, these are tough, 2, and 1. Little squat and reach and up. Now we're going to do our same set again. We're going to add something on here. 3, 2, it's scissoring with the arms. Forward and back, forward and back. Good. And monster squats. 4, 3, 2, scissor the arms. Doesn't matter which one you do first. Good. And squat. Go back. And 3. Good. Keep connected in your core. And scissor. And scissor. Go back. 4, 3, 2. This is it. And scissor. And scissor. Whew, good job. Now that we're standing, we're going to carry on with our balance series. Okay. We're going to repeat some of what we did at the very beginning. So feel free to use your pole or your stick or your foam roller, whatever you have to hold on to. Okay. We're going to be standing on the mat. I'm just going to have this near me in case I need it. Whew. That's good aerobic work. All right. So remember what we did at the beginning. We did a segment of squats where we stepped back with the right leg, took most of the weight on the left, and then we came forward, right? But now we're going to squat back and add a knee lift. So it's going to be a squat, knee lift, and squat, knee lift. Now I could add my arms. It would be a squat, arms up, knee lift, and a squat, knee lift. And we change sides. So left leg goes back. I'm just going to do a couple without my arms first. Whoops, knee lift. Squat. I can't remember whether I added those knee lifts on the last one. Let's do 2 more here. Squat, knee lift, and squat, knee lift. Okay, that's good. The next is we stepped forward, kind of really fell forward actually, caught ourselves, and then stepped back, right? So this is a little fall forward and then knee lift. Little fall forward and knee lift. Little fall forward, knee lift. Toe ball heel, heel ball toe. Let's try the other side. I'm not going to add my arms to that one. You can if you want. Okay, it's a little fall forward and knee lift. A little fall forward, a knee lift. Staying strong in that standing leg. Little fall forward, a knee lift. Little fall forward, a knee lift. Whew, okay. Now what we're going to do is straddle our mat. Remember this one where we went side to side, right? So we had a little squat to the left, and then we would do a knee lift as we take the weight on the right. So it's a little squat and lift. It's a little squat. Now this is tough moving in the lateral direction. I'm going to use this. So I'm squatting and I'm knee lifting. Okay, just a little bit more contact, one more place to connect. Good. Okay, now let's do the other side. Okay, so I'm going to squat and knee lift. So you might start off with your support. Whoops, there. And then maybe you want to try without it. Now I think we did lots on the other side, so we're going to do a few more here. Squat, knee lift, really feeling that energetic connection of that left leg to the floor and through the crown of the head. Just a couple more. Knee lift, and one more. And knee lift. Whew, okay. Now I'm going to put this away for now. The next one is, we were doing our single leg squat with the leg sweep, okay? So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm just going to add the arms. So I'm going to rotate the arms toward the mat, okay? And then when I come up, around, I'm going to rotate the arms away, okay? Let's change that. I'm going to change it. I think it's better to rotate away, and then I'm going to sweep around, and then we get a bigger stretch this way. Yeah, that's better. So sweeping that leg, squat coming up, sweeping the arms. So it's just an additional arm piece to this. Good. And around. That's it. And across. Last time. and around. Good. Oh, that is tough. Okay. And now we're going to stand on your right foot. And we've got the left foot crossed over. Okay, I'm in a single leg squat. My arms are going to turn away from that leg. I think this works better. Okay. And then I'm going to come up into a single leg stand and then sweep it across. This is where I'm squatting again, getting this really nice kind of side stretch here. So up and across. Good. And up, sweep, and across. Really feeling that connection of the foot to the floor. Nice long spine. Good. It's up and behind. Whew, good. One more. Up and across. And last time. Up and behind. Nice. Okay. How did that feel? Hopefully it felt okay for you. It's hard work for sure. Now we're going to finish off with a few stretching exercises. So let's start with the spinal rotation stretch, okay? We'll come down onto our right side. Oh, this is my favorite stretch. It's a wonderful stretch for your pecs, your chest, your spine, everything. So my bottom waist is lifted. I'm imagining that I'm sitting in a straight backed chair here. My head is in line with my spine. The top arm is forward. Bottom arm is folded under my head. We're going to inhale to lift, cradling my head with my hand. Exhale to bring the arm behind. And just enjoy this stretch. Let gravity take you back. Inhaling, exhaling. Good. Feel the ribs filling up on the top side. I'm going to take my hand out now. I'm going to reach in opposition. So I've got this beautiful kind of feeling of oppositional energy going on. My crown of the head to my tail, my fingertips away from fingertips. Each time I exhale, I can feel myself getting a little further and further back. It feels really good. I'm also going to arc the arm a little bit to find my tight zones in there. Just breathing in and breathing out. On the next inhale, we're going to bring the arm up and then exhale to bring the arm forward. Good. Okay, so let's have you roll onto your back. Before we do the other side, we're going to do the football goalpost stretch. So this is a really neat stretch that I learned in New Orleans one time when I was at this Rotary International Conference, and I went to this yoga class in this old museum in the old part of New Orleans, and it was so cool. Big memory of mine, lying on this beautiful dark hardwood floor, looking up into this gorgeous ceiling and surroundings. So what I want you to do is take your arms and make them into kind of like goalposts, okay? And don't worry if they don't go back all the way, that's okay, just do your best. So we're gonna tip our goalpost toward the right side. I'm gonna shimmy my body to the right like I'm a little teapot. Then I'm gonna wiggle my feet to the right as well. I'm gonna cross my left foot, I'm gonna hook it over my right and feel this big stretch going on my whole left side. I'm gonna breathe in and breathe out. And feel your breath kind of migrate and open yourself up into that whole left side. Breathing in and out. Feel the expansiveness of your breath here. Filling you up, creating beautiful space in your body. And hopefully that feels good. Okay, so we're going to uncross the leg. Bring the legs back. Tip ourselves back up and then down the other way. Just shimmy into that position of side bend. Going to wiggle our feet to the same side, to the left, okay, in my case. Going to try to cross that right leg over the left to hook it in and really enjoy this whole right-sided stretch here. Breathing in and breathing out. Feel the elbow kind of reaching away from the rib cage and from the pelvis. Feel the expansiveness on that whole right side, facilitated by your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. And we'll uncross the leg. Okay, wiggle your upper body back. And then we need to do the spinal rotation stretch on the other side. So let's have you roll over the other way. Excuse my back to you. Okay. And my hips and knees are bent to 90 degrees. Bottom waist is lifted. I don't know if you can see my fingers under there. Reach top arm forward, open through the collarbones. So we are feeling really wide through the shoulder blades and the collarbones. Inhale to lift the top arm up. Exhale to bring it back. Lengthen through the fingertips. I'm going to just take my my hand out from under my head because I can. If your neck doesn't allow that, that's okay. You can just keep it there or keep a pillow under your head. Just breathing in here, breathing out. I'm also feeling kind of like I want to anchor through that bottom leg a little bit here. So feel free to anchor through that bottom leg. And that gives you more of a foundation to rotate from. Just breathing in, breathing out. Feel that sense of oppositional energy. So you can feel that from the crown to the tail, but you can also feel it from the fingertips to the knees, maybe, if you're on a diagonal like that. Just allow that breath to open you up a little bit more. Nice. Okay. Let's slowly bring the arm up and then forward, and we will push ourselves onto our back, okay? And I think this is it. So I'd like you to just find a comfortable position. It might be, maybe it's the butterfly position. Maybe it's lying straight down with your legs straight out. I like the butterfly position myself, so I'm just gonna go to that for a moment. And I'm just going to allow my body to really sink into the mat. And hopefully you can feel that as well. Yeah. Just letting your body soften into the mat. Letting any tension just be released through your neck, through your shoulders, through your jaw, through your throat, through your chest. Just feel soft in your belly and see how open can you be through your chest. Just really feeling this connection to our breath now. That beautiful tidal quality of breathing. Just becoming aware of the air moving through your nostrils. Probably a bit cooler going in and definitely warmer going out. You may be aware of your heartbeat inside your chest. Just do a little body scan now. I'm going to straighten my legs out just for a moment. Just do a little body scan and check in. Are there any areas that are still kind of needing a little bit of your attention maybe? And if you're picking up on anything, any area of tightness or maybe some discomfort, we can focus in on that for a moment. Allow your breath to move into that area, whether it's your low back or your knees or your hips or somewhere else. Maybe it's your shoulder or your neck. And just allow the breath to move into that area and expand and open it up. And with the exhale, just soften a little bit further, letting go just a little bit more. Breathing into that area that needs your attention and breathing out. Now draw your awareness to your whole body breathing. Just breathing in with your whole body and breathing out with your whole body. Again, just breathing in. And breathing out. Sensing the body as that series of masses and spaces. The head is your mass. The neck is a space, while the shoulders and chest are a mass. They feel weighted. And the low back is a space. The pelvis is a mass. Pelvic floor is a space. You might feel your thighs are a mass, but you'll probably feel your backs of your knees are definitely a space. Your calves are a mass and your ankles are a space. Your heels are a mass. And if your feet are on the mat or the floor, the arches of your feet are a space. So just noticing that we are this series of masses and spaces. We're going to try to breathe into all of our spaces now. So let's inhale into all those spaces. Our neck, our back, our pelvic floor, the backs of our knees, our ankles, and our feet. And breathe out. releasing any tension, breathing into our spaces again, breathing out and just letting go. Now you can feel free just to stay here for a while and appreciate that lovely energy flowing through your body, and take this sense with you for the rest of the day. I'm just going to come into some movement awareness now, starting to wiggle my fingers and my toes. And then I'm just going to come up into sitting. Well, I hope that you've had fun today, and that you feel a sense of being energized and vibrant and calm at the same time. I think it's important at this time especially to think about anything you can do to facilitate the dampening of your sympathetic nervous system. And that might come in the form of walking or listening to music or being in the garden, reading, baking, cooking, whatever brings you a sense of being relaxed. Meditation comes in many forms. So if we can facilitate that relaxation response in our body, and that is a natural repair and restore mode that we have the capacity to make happen within us, so that all our body systems can move toward a better balance, that quietens the effect of stress. So especially at this time, we need to keep that in mind and how we can serve ourselves best. So I'm Lynn Brandon at Bodyworx Physiotherapy and Pilates. I want to thank you for joining me today on this video. I do hope you've had fun. Stay safe, have fun out there, and take care of one another. Thank you for being with me. Namaste.